Hey everybody, Brian Mikes here with Betwext.com. In the last video, we spoke about why small business owners needed to start using text message marketing. And the number one reason? Because your competition is starting to use it and you don't want to fall behind. You and I both know that people look at their phones all the time. They engage, they communicate, they do research, they buy things. We're on our phones about every 7 minutes throughout the day. And if you run a small business, you need to be engaging people in the ways that they prefer. And that means texting. So if you haven't seen video number 1 yet, we'll include a link or I'll email you one. Just email me and I'll shoot that over to you. One more thing for those of you who are big followers of Gary Vaynerchuk, he just started using text message marketing in the last few weeks to promote some of his products, and he's crushing it. So we're already ahead of the curve today. And, I want to share with you, last week we shared about why I use text marketing. Today I want to share with you some very specific getting started information. Most notably, what you need to know before you start sending a message. So every day I speak to lots of business owners who've never sent a text message marketing message, and for some reason they're really nervous about it. And trust me, there's no reason to be nervous. Everyone texts every day. You're just jumping into the customer or prospect's communication stream. And you're going to have a quick conversation with them. And by simply engaging people in this way, you're going to start seeing results. So it's super easy to do. And to really take your text message marketing to the next level, if you spend a few minutes and get your ducks in a row, you're going to see fantastic results. So that's what we're going to talk about today. What exactly to do before you start sending out your message. So I've got a strategic plan for the next 3 months of what I'm going to text out, and I'm going to walk you step by step on how to do that. It only takes a few minutes, and we're going to go really quickly, so hold on tight. So first, the very first thing I want you to do is take out your favorite notepad or pen or open up your favorite text editor. Now, start writing. I want you to write down every question you've been asked by a customer in the last 30 days. If you're in touch with your customers, this should be a very easy task. And if you haven't talked to your customer in the last 30 days, well, you probably should be getting on the phone and talking to them. So what kind of questions are your customers asking? Are they asking about features? Are they asking you to better understand the quality of your services? Are they asking about delivery details? Is it questions about your warranty or guarantee or how something operates? Jot down these 5 or 6 questions, and if you have new customers or prospects, their questions should always go at the top of your list. So that shouldn't take more than 2 or 3 minutes. Just stop after 2 or 3 minutes or after you get 5 or 6 questions, then move on. We're not going for mass quantity here. We're going for speed. Step 2 is even easier than step number 1. Open up your calendar and identify some critical dates that you need to pay attention to. So, I'm looking out in June, July, and August, and this is what I'm seeing. In June, Soul Food Month. I don't know about you, but I love soul food. June 16th, Father's Day. June 22nd, Onion Ring Day. July 4th, obviously, Independence Day here in the United States. July 14th, Shark Appreciation Day. July is also Independent Retailers Month. August 3rd is Watermelon Day, August 9th is Book Lovers Day, and August 26th is Dogs Day. Now, don't start questioning my sanity just yet, right? I realize a bunch of these dates aren't official holidays. Remember, I'm just looking for reasons to text people, and I want to text people with something interesting, and what better than an unofficial holiday? By the way, looking for something different to celebrate, the site I use to find these holidays is daysoftheyear.com. That's daysoftheyear.com. Now, I've got an interesting, let me make an interesting observation here. I'm only going out 3 months. Remember, we're only designing a 90-day marketing plan because we want to keep this short and sweet. I can't think more than 3 months ahead, and it also gives me flexibility that if people aren't engaging with my messages, I can change them up in just a few months and not have to worry about wrecking an entire year's worth of planning. So, just focus on the next 90 days. And remember, speed is critical here. So how long does step 2 take when designing your text messages? 3 to 5 minutes if you're doing your own research, and 10 seconds if you steal the dates that I just listed. So now let's keep on moving. Step number 3. This third step might take you a whole 3 minutes, so steady yourself. I want you to ask a simple question. What are you trying to accomplish with your text message marketing? Are you trying to get people into your store? Are you trying to drive people to your website? Are you trying to sell them a product or service? Are you trying to get them to read a blog post? Are you trying to educate them about who you are? Are you trying to get them to pick up the phone and call you. Now, why these questions? It's because I want you to think about your call to action. Every marketing message you send needs to have a call to action, and it's tied directly to the action you want your customers to take. So if you want them to visit your website, make sure to include a link in your text message that says click here. If you want them to call, tell them to do that in your text message. Say, pick up the phone and call now, and remember to include your phone number. You'd be surprised how many people send out messages and they forget to include a call to action. Remember, people are reading your text messages and they're only going to do what you tell them to do. So think about what you want them to do. Think about the action you want them to take. All right, now let's put this all together. Remember, I said we're going to go quick. So we started off with identifying questions that people asked. We then followed that up with important dates that are happening. And then we finished with what your call to action is going to be. Now we're going to put this all together. And this step is far from difficult. You're just going to mix and match customer questions, calendar events, and the actions you want them to take. You're going to create a quick outline, and in just a few minutes, you're going to have your marketing plan for the next 3 months. So here's how I laid out my plan. So week 1, I'm going to send a link to a blog post to educate my prospects about who I am. Week number 2, I'm going to highlight Soul Food Day, and I might send them to a link to my favorite restaurant or maybe a recipe or something interesting that I find. Week number 3, I'm going to tease them about a new SMS marketing resource. I'm not going to include a link because remember, I'm teasing them. And then week number 4, I'm going to announce that free SMS marketing resource, and I'm going to include a link to the download page. Week 5 is July 4th week, so I'm going to include a special offer to everybody joining during Independence Week, right? And we're going to link that to a new customer bonus order page. Week number 6, a special offer for existing customers. We're going to ask them to text us back with questions, and then we're going to give something away free to everybody who responds. Week number 7 is a new article on SMS uses with a customer question. And again, that's going to link back to the blog, right? Week number 8, we're going to announce a new case study, again, based around a customer question with a link to the blog. And then week number 9, we're going to highlight an undiscovered feature, and that's tied to a customer question. We're going to ask our customers to send us questions. And then week 11 is going to be National Watermelon Day. Probably include a text in that joke in that text somewhere. And then week number 12, back to promoting our blog posts with a link to the latest blog post and maybe some interesting information. You'll notice that over these next 12 weeks, my goal is to drive people to the website, to the blog, and to our order page, and a one-off text us back. That's how we drive engagement. I mean, if you have a store or a restaurant, you can drive engagement through visiting our store. If you're selling a product online, send people directly to your order page. I mean, there's no rules against it. Get people to take the action that you want. And that's where tying into your call to action is going to be so critical, right? So now this is probably the fastest you've ever done a marketing plan in your life. And now that you got a feel for it, here's your final step. In the next few minutes, you should take some time and actually write out your text messages. Don't check out right now. Take a few moments and get that plan turned into actual content. It's not difficult. And remember, a text message is at most 160 characters. And if you upgrade to an MMS message, you can get up to 450 characters. But these are short and sweet statements. You're not writing epic blog posts here, people. At most, you'll spend a minute or two writing each text message. You already know what your call to action is. And, that's what makes mobile marketing so effective and so easy to do, is that you can get this done in just a matter of minutes. It's not difficult. You just have to sit down and actually does it. So you just have to sit down and actually do it. So and I hope that helps everyone with their text marketing strategy. And remember, you want to do this before you start sending your next message. That way you'll never wonder what to say next. So that's what we're covering today. And, keep an eye out for the next video. I'm going to touch on some hot button issues like how to text your customers and prospects and not piss them off. Some people are really worried about making their customers and prospects upset, and it's an important aspect that you know the right things and the wrong things to keep people happy. So watch out for that next video.